Why is consistency so hard? Most people say, oh, it's not hard to be consistent, but yet we start off strong and then we end all over the place or even not even finishing. Hey, welcome to Curating Consistency, and I'm your host, Coach KB. And today we're going to dive into why consistency is so hard. And it has a lot to do with how we have defined the term consistency over time. So why is consistency so hard? It is because I really feel like at a very young age, I was taught the wrong definition of consistency. Consistency does not just mean showing up the same time, same day, in the same way, like a robot, because that keeps us inconsistent. So consistency really is about showing up even in those small ways, even when you can't bring forth your 100% effort. You still have to show up. Let me share a story with you. I remember when I was younger and I was really focused on just getting my life together, y'all. Let's be honest with it, right? And I had the plan. And for the first 2 weeks of the plan, I was going to do this, and this every morning. And then life started lifing. And what happened was, right after that 2 weeks, I could not keep the schedule that I had set for. It totally deflated me and it totally got me off track. So what that great plan that failed taught me is that so often we treat consistency like it's a fragile piece of glass. And if it breaks or if it cracks, then we just throw it away. But that's not what it means to be consistent. It's really about making a decision that I'm going to show up in unity and not uniformity. So what do I mean by unity and not uniformity? A lot of times we think about uniformity. Everything has to be done the same way without deviations, but that's not true. Whereas unity really helps us to align with what we're trying to accomplish. And that becomes very important because when we get stuck in uniformity, that is a for sure way that we are going to fail. Because when you pursue uniformity, you are a prisoner to the clock. But if you pursue unity, you are being a good steward over your purpose. So for me, if I miss my 6 a.m. workout in the morning and I still do it at 8 p.m., guess what? I may not have uniformity doing it at the same time, same day, same way, but I do have unity, which means I'm still aligned with the goals and the values that I have pertaining to my health. Does that make sense? So can I share with you, as I've gotten older, consistency is less about my schedule and it's more about my stance, meaning the position that I take to say what I'm going to be intentional about. So for example, I may say I'm going to be intentional about working out so that I can maintain energy and stay healthy and just really meet my health goals, right? And so that's what it's really looking like. I may not be able to work out every morning, but if I am committed to my purpose of living a healthy life, I'm attaching it to my identity that I am a healthy individual. And so that helps to support what I'm trying to do in that area. And that, my friend, is what keeps us consistent. Because here's what we know. Consistency lives in the decision. You have to decide how you are going to show up. And once you make that decision, you just got to figure out the what, the how, the when, and all of that. But if the decision is that I am going to be a healthy person, that means I'm going to show up for my health. So let's lean in a little bit and address the real problem why we get frustrated. We get frustrated because everyone wants to live a perfect life. And that is very difficult and sometimes impossible, right? But if you're curating consistency, my ask and my question of you is, how are you going to show up? Putting that one foot in front of the other, that decision by decision matrix, and that brick by brick approach that we often talk about. So I really want to share 3 things that helped me to become more consistent in the things that I needed to do in life. The first thing is really about my calendar. My calendar is sacred. Those who know me know if you're not on the calendar, it is not happening. So I want to recommend to you really begin to start using your calendar. Because if I'm honest with this menopause brain half the time, I can't remember. I'll be like, oh yeah, I could do that. It's not on the calendar. That says to me that I had not been intentional about curating that consistency as it relates to that experience. The other practical anchor that I have that helps to keep me consistent is my morning routine. My morning routine is very important for me because I realized very early on in life that when I start my day off well and organized, it just follows me through the rest of the day. So part of my morning routine really consists of three things: connection with the Lord, connection with my bills, and with people. And so that becomes very important. So during my morning time, I don't do anything but my study, and then I may follow up on a few emails as well as manage my money during that time. And that's all I'm really set to do in the morning. Otherwise, it may take me forever to get out the door, if I'm honest. But those are the three things that I connect with in the morning. The third anchor that I want to share with you is really about my bedtime breakdown. And this becomes important. Why? Because it prepares me to start my morning off right. So at night, I put out the stuff that I'm going to study in the morning. I have my clothes if I'm going to work out that morning. I've already checked my calendar to know what's already on my calendar, because some mornings I might have a 7 o'clock call or a 5 a.m. call. And so it just sets my mind at rest so that I'm not worried about jumping up and trying to figure out what I have to do. Let alone, we're not even going to talk about my bath time experience. All my friends talk about me because I go through a whole bath breakdown experience just to bring me down from all of the ebbs and flows that I've had for that day. So if the calendar being sacred, a morning routine, and a bedtime routine resonated with you, give me a high five in the chat so that I know that you're here with me still. But I want to share what's important about this. If you notice, none of these three anchors that I have within my day and within my life that helps to keep me consistent is perfect. It does not require perfection. It just requires intention and space to make sure that I am curating my consistency throughout my day. So it's important for us at this time to remember and redefine consistency. Consistency is not about rigid repetition, because guess what? If I plan something and it doesn't happen right at that time and right at that space, I adjust. I do not abandon. And that is what becomes very important as we begin to redefine how am I going to show up consistently. And that means it is a decision. So this is decision by decision, step by step, and brick by brick. So if this episode helped you to really rethink about how you're defining consistency, be sure to subscribe and join me as we continue to curate consistency together. I'm Coach KB, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode.